Good evening, everyone. I'm Shubhamoga, a sophomore of DTU. Welcome all of you to today's much awaited session, Success Mantra for Civil Services Examination. It's a pleasure seeing you all on the screen today in these testing times with the overwhelming footfall. As we already know, we are joined with eminent DTU alumni who will be gracing us with their valuable journey experiences. We'll also be running a live Q&A at the end of the session where you'll have a chance to get your queries addressed by our distinguished panelists. Now that you are aware of the proceedings, I would like to thank team of DTU-DCE Fraternity Forum and Ski DTU for bringing up such an amazing event for the aspiring minds of our institute. As a brief introduction, DTU-DCE Fraternity Forum is a forum of students, teachers, and alumni of DTU-DCE, which provides a platform for networking, interaction, and exchange of ideas, apart from extending help to each other. Apart from its chapter in more than 5 states, it has international chapters in countries including Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, UAE, Singapore, and Japan, and they are set up by our respected alumni. The idea of creating this forum was conceptualized by Dr. Navneet Kumar Sharma sir, an alumnus of 1985 batch of Mechanical Engineering of DCE. We welcome you, sir. Also, heartiest congratulations to Team Ski DTU as well, the oldest technical society of DTU, which aims to foster critical thinking among youth to come up with sustainable and technologically feasible solutions to real-life problems. Before I invite Dr. Navneet Kumar Sharma, founder and president of DTU-DCE Fraternity Forum, I would like to briefly introduce him. Dr. Navneet Kumar Sharma graduated in 1985 in Mechanical Engineering from DCE. He later did his master's in Production Engineering from DCE and MBA and PhD in Supply Chain Management from FMS University of Delhi. He is a fellow of Institution of Engineers, fellow of Indian Institute of Materials Management, and life member of All India Management Association. Recently, Dr. Sharma has been elected member of the Managing Committee and Chairperson of Government and Industry Academia Committee of prestigious Delhi Management Association. He has deep interest in spiritualism, astrology, and Vastu. He is a Jyotish Acharya and Vastu Shastri from prestigious Sri Lal Bahadur Sanskrit Vidyapeeth, New Delhi. Dr. Sharma belongs to 1986 batch of IRSS. He was on deputation as Director, Vigilance and Impacts in Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Government of India from 2007 to 2011. Dr. Sharma is presently posted as Officer on Special Duty at Additional Secretary level in Northern Railway HQ at New Delhi. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sharma to address us.
Thank you, Shubham. Dear fraternity members, a very good evening to all of you and a warm welcome to this webinar, which has been organized by DTU-DCE Fraternity Forum in association with Society for Civil and Environmental Engineers and DTU Students Association. As you may be aware, this DTU-DCE Fraternity Forum has been founded to bring the 3 stakeholders of our university, namely alumni, students and faculty, on a common platform and provide an opportunity for interaction, networking, and personal and professional growth, exchange of ideas on technical and managerial issues, and to take up issues of common interest. Well, the intention of founding this forum has been to leverage the strength of alumni for the benefit of our students and our alma mater. As Shubham has already told, we have opened chapters in various countries and various states of India, and we are constantly striving to increase our geographical footprint, not only in India, but also abroad. You might have seen, and you may be seeing on the screen also, the logo of our forum is having 3 hands, and one of the hands represents faculty, one hand represents students, and one hand represents alumni. And in between we have a lamp. The lamp represents the knowledge which we want to share. And in Hindi, we call this lamp diya. The meaning of diya is to give. And that is our intention of setting up this forum. Now, the motto of our forum is Sahyogyan Sarv Siddhi. That translates to everything is possible through cooperation. I am happy to share with all of you that our website of the forum was inaugurated on 17th October 2020. and today is also 17th of February. So in just about 4 months, we have more than 900 life members and more than 1600 members on our LinkedIn group of our forum. So lot of students, alumni, faculty, they are joining this forum, and as we grow, we intend to provide more benefits for the members of our forum. As you may be aware, the membership is free. Life membership is free for students, faculty, as well as alumni. And we have provided search facility. Whatever database we are having, the life member through a password can log in onto the website and search the fraternity based on location, based on organization, based on name, based on batch, based on hobbies. So this is going to prove a very good tool for fostering the networking of our fraternity. Now coming to today's webinar, the idea of hosting this webinar came to our mind about 3 weeks back. And I am very happy and thankful to all our panelists who have topped civil services examination in 2019, namely Sarjana, Dipankar, Himanshu, Nupur, Shubham Bansal, and Vishakha. And they were so helpful. Immediately they agreed to participate in this webinar to guide our budding students who are aspiring to be civil servants of the future. So I hope this webinar will greatly help them. The forum heartfully thanks all of these civil services toppers who have come today and taken out time out of their busy schedule, training schedule. We are really thankful to you all. As I have already mentioned, this Society for Civil and Environmental Engineers, all their team and DTU Student Association have worked very hard to bring this webinar, and this webinar would not have been possible without the active participation of the office bearers of our forum, who are eminent alumni of DTU. To name a few, Mr. Mridul Kumar, who is chairperson of Malaysia chapter of our forum. He is Indian ambassador to Malaysia. Mr. Samir Handa, who is chairperson of New Zealand chapter of our forum. He is also chairman of Indo-New Zealand Business Council. And we are also having Shri Krishna Kulkarni ji, who is chairperson of governing board of IIM Calcutta, and he is also senior vice president in our forum. Welcome, Shri Krishna ji. A very little known fact about Kulkarni ji is that he is also great grandson of Mahatma Gandhi ji, and he has also come forward in the organization of this forum, and we are blessed to have him. I would like to invite Shri Krishna Kulkarni ji to say a few words for the guidance of our budding students.
Thank you, Navneet. I mean, this is such an honor to be among DC, DTU graduates. And kya kahun, it's always that I've always found that you're always doing these kind of events which are so unique in their nature. I think the best form in which you can give back to society is by helping others. And Navneet, thank you so much. All of us reached and achieved positions in life because at some point somebody helped us. That's the truth. It's not just pure brilliance that brings us. And आपने ये एक platform खड़ा किया है where we can return to our juniors. I don't like to use the word juniors. Our Delhi College of Engineering gave me so much, and this opportunity to be able to return by just being present, sometimes just sharing our experiences is such a wonderful thing. Thank you, Navneet, for setting this up for us. Besides that, I really can't talk about guidance, but I think with these young people and they're coming from the IAS Academy and civil services, what can I say? You, as Sardar Patel put it, that is the iron frame which holds this country up together. And many years ago, let me tell you that my mother also is an IAS officer. My father is also from the Civil Services IAS. He was All India rank 7. This was, and his interview board had Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. And at that time, he came from a village in Konkan, and he was asked by, I think, I don't remember who now, that how come your English accent is not good enough? Something to that effect. And the answer was, well, the accent of a language can differ on the two banks of a river. Why should it be the same as English spoken in England? So I am really in awe of all of you here. मैं क्या advice दूंगा? I'm just happy being among you. So Navneet, thank you, and I'd be happy to just participate. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words to embark the event. The courage to keep your youth as collateral for that one goal is not found in many. The one who has the will is the one who creates the way. After beating the chill with warm sentiments, I would like to introduce Vishakha ma'am, All India Rank 6 in Civil Services Examination 2019 and an alumnus of 2014 batch of Software Engineering of DTU. Vishakha ma'am believes little targets make the biggest goals. Ma'am, we would love to hear some words of wisdom from you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. And first of all, I would like to thank you and thank all the respected seniors and sir for enabling this platform so that we could interact with people and share our journeys. And I think she rightly said that written targets and better time management is the key to achieving anything in life, and CSC being one of those things. And I think we discover and get to know experiences of all of us as we start communicating. So let's see how it goes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us. Without any delay, I'll introduce you to Nupur ma'am, All India Rank 11 and an alumnus of batch of 2014 Electronics and Communication Engineering DTU. Your dreams are not solely yours. It is an ambition nourished not only by you but also your family, says Nupur ma'am's father. Ma'am, we would love to hear from you how to keep ourselves going even if our goal seems miles away.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor as well as a great privilege for I think all of us who are able to engage with all of you, the esteemed panelists, as well as our fellow colleagues who are preparing for civil services. Coming to the question, how to keep oneself motivated, as has already been said by my father, the dream wasn't mine, it was of my whole family. So that kept me moving. And the why of any dream is, I think, the most important question. If you are very sure of why do you want to achieve the thing, I think you have already done 50% of the job. So that's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for telling us that perseverance is the key to success. Moving forward, I would like to introduce Himanshu sir, All India Rank 27 in Civil Services Examination 2019 and an alumnus of 2016 batch of Electrical Engineering of DTU. When our strengths run out, our will to overcome our weaknesses plays the role. Sir, we would love to hear, how did you trespass your limits and crack the coveted exams?
Hello, good evening all. Thank you for introducing me, and thank you Navneet ji and thank you Shri Krishna ji for being here. As rightly said, uh, this particular exam is for analyzing your strengths and weaknesses, and I believe if according to me the philosophy behind this UPSC exam is that you have to work on your not only the knowledge that you have but also the presence of mind and all those capabilities that you want to build up. So it's very important that you build on other supplementary things apart from the knowledge that you gain. So apart from the knowledge, you need to have that reasoning ability. You need to develop reading skills, comprehension skills, and moreover, analyzing skills. So analyzing things in different perspectives, opening up your mind, that is the most important thing that one gets to know during this preparation of the exam. So I believe the entire process itself teaches you a lot. That has been my take on this exam. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the wonderful insight, sir. Moving ahead, I would like to introduce Shubham Bansal, sir, DTU alumnus of Mechanical Engineering class of 2017 batch, who has cleared the Civil Services examination in 2019 to secure an All India rank 43 and is currently an officer trainee of Indian Administrative Services. Failing to clear the interview in 2017 and prelims in 2018 was demoralizing. But clearing it in the third attempt with an All India rank of 43 was a pleasant and welcome shock, says Shubham sir. Now, he is here to guide us through the process of not losing motivation and achieving something great with consistent hard work.
Good evening, everyone. Yes. Good evening. Thank you, Meera. Thank you to the forum and all the participants for their time. And as rightly said, civil services is a journey of ups and downs of reaching one stage, clearing mains or clearing interviews, and then failing in the next one again, right at the prelims. Anything could happen in this. It is indeed very demotivating, but we keep going. I think motivation is a very fickle thing. It comes and goes, but what stays with us is discipline. So I think that helped me crack the exam. In between, I wrote some other exams too, which gave me certain confidence. And I think it was a big process about which we'll talk later. Thank you.
It was very interesting and motivating to hear about it, sir. Thank you. Now, I would like to introduce Dipankar Chowdhury, sir, DTU alumnus of Mathematics and Computing class of 2015 batch, made into IPS in 2018 and cleared the exam yet again in 2019, securing an All India rank of 42 to become an IAS officer, which is an amazing feat indeed. Growing up, he idealized his father and could see himself working in the civil services and says that it taps into your untouched potential and takes you to greater heights. And so, while getting the introduction ready, I also came across this funny DBT incident of yours in your interview. We would also love to hear about that from you, please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very privileged to be a member of this fraternity. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for such a generous introduction, Meera. Yes, I got selected in 2018, and I was selected as an IPS officer posted in Kerala for some time. And then I chose to write the exam again because, well, IAS was my ultimate dream, although I was very happy and satisfied with the service. About the DVT incidents, I'll just mention it briefly. So in 2018, I was giving my interview, and since I come from a mathematics and computing background, most of the questions the panel kept on asking me was related to science and technology and everything. So they questioned me about artificial intelligence, about Internet of Things, about how it can be used. And then all of a sudden, one of the panel member asked me, so Dipankar, what are your opinions on DBT? What he meant was direct benefit transfer. I am sure you must have heard it in gas cylinders and everything, direct benefit transfer. But in my mind, what was going on was technology, technology, technology. So I ended up saying, yes, sir, the Department of Biotechnology. And then he was taken aback for a second, Department of Biotechnology. And then he countered me and said, no, I'm talking about direct benefit transfer. And then I was shook for a second, direct benefit transfer. And that's how it went in the interview. Thank you very much for bringing up this incident from my interview.
Thank you very much, sir. It indeed lightened up the atmosphere. So now I would like to introduce Sarjana Yadav ma'am, DTU alumnus of ECE class of 2015 batch. She succeeded with an All India rank of 126 in UPSC Civil Services examination in 2019 and is currently an officer trainee. Setting goals for herself and studying in a comfortable environment greatly helped her ace the examination. I would love to quote her from one of her interviews. Try to work hard, but not stress too hard. As long as you are sincere and working towards your goals dedicatedly, you will definitely sail through. We would love to hear about your experience in preparation.
Thank you so much, Meera, for the generous introduction. A very good evening, sir, to all my senior members and my DTU mates and my colleagues. So I think, like I said in my interview also, like this journey, this UPSC journey it's not an ordinary exam. It needs a lot of dedication, lot of discipline, and the journey is such that the journey itself makes sure that you get discipline, because the syllabus is so humongous, and you need to keep yourself motivated. You need to dedicatedly prepare for your subject, but at the same time you need not take too much stress, because if you take too much stress, you'll get demotivated, and random thoughts would crop up in your mind. So I think it's more than, it's like a mental exam also, like how you keep your calm and compose, and stay focused in your exam. So thank you so much. Looking forward for the session. I hope we'll have an amazing time. Thank you.
Thanks, Arjuna ma'am, for sharing such helpful insights. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the question and answer session. We circulated a Google form and we received plenty of questions. I'll be presenting those to our panelists now. In case anyone missed the chance, you can put your questions on queries in the chat box. So the first question is by Sogat Mohanty. The question is for Shubham Bansal, sir. What is a better option for an engineer? Humanities subjects like geography or engineering subjects in which I'm doing my BTech at?
Thank you, Mehika. I don't think selecting optional is an exact science. I think it's like shooting in the dark. But still, I can share some of the things. While selecting optional, I just looked around me and I felt that 15-20 people were better than me in mechanical engineering in my own section, in my own class. So it was a no-go for me. A lot of things were hearsay in that respect, that technical subjects take a lot more time and whatnot, a lot of preparation without any overlap. So I just went with the traditional knowledge that geography is a technical subject. It's easy to score and whatnot. A lot of things about it were proved wrong later. I think it's a very difficult choice, but this is how it went for me. I think it's a very personal journey. One thing you can look to select an optional is just that you shouldn't hate it too much in the beginning, and rest you'll have to discover it within the first month or so of selecting it.
Thank you so much, sir. So the next question was asked by a dozen of aspirants. The question is for Vishakha ma'am. When is the correct time to start with UPSC preparation, as in which academic year, and how to stay consistently motivated?
So I think first thing that needs to be clear in the mind is whether or not you want to give this exam dedicatedly or not. So when you decide that, it's better that you start the preparation as soon as possible. Preparation, as Sajna already mentioned, the course is very humongous. So it's very subjective how a person strategizes and learns throughout the journey. So maybe second year or third year, I would say, is a very good time to start with the basics. In second year, third year, you can pick up the NCRTs and get your foundation and basics strong. And over the course of third, fourth year, maybe you can get into the practice of answer writing, revisions, and be comfortable with current affairs and syllabus. So that would really help you to give a very honest attempt by the end of the fourth year. And one more thing is that you need to be very patient while giving this exam, because it's not necessary that even if you've given your 100%, you'll get the results as you want. So you need to be okay with this fact also while preparing for that. And the second question about being consistently motivated. So first thing is our internal motivation, like what drives you towards this exam. That would help. And again, it's very subjective. For me, it was my childhood dream, and I think my parents also played a very important role in pushing me towards it. And other than that, I think when you have concrete plans, when you have good time management, when you have strategized your day based on your weekly targets, monthly targets, it gets easier to be consistently motivated. Because when you plan well, you can see your progress, how you're working towards it. And that helps you to see that how far you've come from where you started. And that acts as a source of motivation. Be in touch with some good mentors or some teacher, that would also help a lot. Yeah, that is it.
Thank you for sharing such crucial information, ma'am. So the next question is asked by Nihil Kumar, Abhishek Kumar, and Utkarsh Divakar. The question is for Dipankar Chaudhary, sir. How do we get to preparing about ethics? What should we prefer between lexicon and Vajiram notes?
See, ethics is one subject where everyone tries, even if you don't prepare anything, you would write answers in ethics. That might not be true for other papers, but ethics is such a general subject that you might end up writing decent answers even without zero preparation. I wouldn't get into the specific of sources, whether it is lexicon or Vajiram notes, because sources are very person specific. It can be like my personal choice was lexicon or D. Subbarao. There's another book by D. Subbarao, but it doesn't mean that it would suit your temperament or your style of studying. So sources are, in my opinion, very person specific. You shouldn't be blindly following what I, or for that matter, any other person says that this is a good source or that is a good source. All the sources are more or less reasonably the same. How should you go about preparing ethics? You should have your the way I study ethics is that I divided it into three sections. So there was a public administration section of ethics which talked about the CBI, the CVC, the RTI Act, the local governments, etc. And there was a psychology section which talked about emotional intelligence, attitude, aptitude, such things. And there was a political science section which talked about various thinkers like John Stuart Mill or Jeremy Bentham, for that matter. My public ad section was good because my optional was public ad. My psychology section, I did refer to some notes of emotional intelligence from D. Subbarao, and that was my primary source. And for my political science sections, even there, my public administration helped me a lot because the topics were overlapping when you study public administration and these portions of ethics. So that was my strategy when I went about preparing ethics. Do write answers in ethics because you have a lot of ideas, but to put them into concrete bullet points so that they strike the nail hard can get difficult at times because the ideas are very vague and generalistic, and you need to sort of make them point wise, concrete, small. You get the idea. So don't let your mind get cluttered with so many ideas, dilemmas, everything. You need to make it in a very concrete and concise manner.
Thank you for your constructive feedback, sir. The next question is by Ishan Singh. The question is for Shubham Mansal, sir. How to manage civil services with the job, as the idea of quitting your job is quite hard.
थैंक यू ईशान तो कॉलेज के लास्ट ईयर में जब हम पास आउट हो रहे थे तो आई गॉट अ प्लेसमेंट इन बजाज ऑटोमोबाइल्स व्हिच आई इवेंचुअली लेफ्ट फॉर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर मेंस एग्जामिनेशन इन 2017. तो उस समय तो जॉब छोड़ दिया था. फास्ट फॉरवर्ड 2 इयर्स व्हेन आई वाज सिलेक्टेड फॉर आरबीआई, तो मेरे मन में फिर से ये सवाल आया कि इस बार फिर से जॉब छोड़ के तैयारी करते हैं. दो चीजें रहती हैं, जॉब अगर अपने पास हो तो एक कंफर्ट रहता है, वी हैव अ सेफ्टी क्वेश्चन टू फॉल बैक ऑन, तो that helps a lot, but time goes away. तो but I continued with the job. मैंने ट्रेनिंग के 2 महीने पहले, मेंस के 2 महीने पहले ट्रेनिंग ज्वाइन करी थी और फिर उसके बाद 1 साल तक मैं काम करता रहा. तो जॉब के साथ थोड़ा सा मुश्किल रहता है, बट स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन पे आते हुए कि कैसे कर सकते हैं. किसी भी तरीके की जॉब हो, दिन में आराम से 4, 5, 6 घंटे निकाले जा सकते हैं अगर आप अदर सोशल एंगेजमेंट्स को कट डाउन कर सकें. और कई बार क्या होता है, कॉलेज के 3rd या 4th ईयर से लोग जो तैयारी कर रहे होते हैं, दैट हेल्प्स अस अ लॉट. अगर हम जल्दी स्टार्ट करते हैं 3rd या 4th ईयर में बजाय ग्रेजुएट होने के बाद, तो इन दैट केस वी कैन टेक अप अ जॉब इमीडिएटली और उसके साथ प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं. तो आई थिंक दिस कैन हेल्प अ लॉट.
Thank you so much, sir. The next question is by Abhishek Sethi. The question is for Himanshu Gupta, sir. How viable is electrical as an optional for an ECE student?
Okay, so I had electrical engineering and I also got into an electronics and communication company. So by saying that, okay, I have seen the technicalities of it. So according to me, it depends on one's preparation, one's knowledge that one has gained over the past 4 years. Let's say if you are doing very well in your graduation subject and you have the ability to consolidate each and everything and then write just 2 3 hours papers with all of your graduation knowledge in it, then you can probably take electrical engineering subject. But an ECE student who is about to take electrical engineering, I think you will have to check the syllabus of UPSC first. The syllabus of UPSC is quite different. As far as I have seen, only one or two broad themes are common. All other things are completely different. So you'll have to study a lot of other things in electrical engineering as an optional. So if you have the scientific bent of mind and you think that you can take a technical optional subject and prepare it from scratch, because electrical engineering, because you are changing your branch. So keeping all these factors in mind, then you can think of taking electrical engineering as an optional. I would advise of if one is not so good in electrical or electronics and communication, you can anyway take any other option which are there in the UPSC list. Thank you.
Thanks for your guidance, sir. The next question is by Anand Kumar Singh. Question is for Vishakha ma'am. What must be the strategy for covering GS2 paper, mainly political science and international relations? He also mentioned that he has geography as an optional subject.
My optional subject was political science and international relations. So I would say that choosing that optional really helped me to build my GS2 score and preparation. Uh, for GS2, obviously, Lakshmikant is the book which acts like a Bible, but I think it's more factual, and it just gives you the understanding of constitution and what all things you're supposed to read and learn, specifically from prelims point of view. But when it comes to mains, it is much more analytical, and it is focused on not just analyzing the issues related to the topic, but also giving the way forward. So here, I think current affairs obviously plays a very major role. Firstly, so whatever monthly magazine you're following, you need to keep revising it, analyzing it, keep adding your points. Second thing is newspaper reading. There is no substitute for newspaper reading. So newspaper articles, editorials give us a very good overview of whatever the contentious issues are going on. It gives you different perspective by different scholars. So it's important that you read it thoroughly and with patience, and then try to formulate your own understanding about the topic. For example, the topic like Constitutional Amendment Act, NRC, was very much in news over a long period of time. So obviously it becomes a very important topic for GS2. And then you'll have wide variety of opinions which will be in support and against, and neutral opinions also. So you read all of them and then try to formulate your own version of understanding. That would really help you. Again, third point is answer writing is very important. The more you write, the more you practice, the more you learn. And when you try to write answers of GS2, there are few points maybe you can use which I used, and it helped me build my score. Like the value addition part, if possible, you can remember few facts, figures, and data related to that particular topic. But having said that, you need to very much address the demand of the question. What exactly the question is asking, and whether your particulars of data and facts are actually fitting into the answer scheme. So that can be done. Further, it's important that we stick to IBC format, introduction, body, conclusion. And while writing the conclusion, it is helpful if you try to give some innovative solutions. For example, like United Nations recommendations from some report, some Niti Aayog recommendations. So that really makes your answer stands out. So a lot of these things I think we'll gather from our current affairs, from our regular reading of newspaper, and one standard uh, notes from any coaching or from any book, which will help you give a theoretical base for every topic which is mentioned in the syllabus. And also, while you prepare for it, usually it works for many people. Every word and every topic which is written in your GS2 or any paper, it's important that you have a brief write up for every topic. It makes it easier for you to revise in the end. Many such programs you'll find. So if you develop a habit of watching them like casually for some time, for 20 minutes or so, it gives you a very good, it helps you in building an opinion of your own, and that could be used in your exams also. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope the aspirants have their notepads handy. The next question is for Sarjana ma'am. What other relevant exams can we attempt during UPSC PSC preparations?
The answer. So there are two answers to this question. It's a very subjective thing. It's always good to have a plan B, but then you need to make sure that your plan A doesn't get compromised. So I did not have a plan B as such. I left my job and I completely focused on plan A. But if you are planning to go keep a backup, then make sure that you don't have to do much additional study for your plan B. So for example, if you're giving UPSC, you can go for state services or RBI grade B exams. But having said that, your, as I said earlier also, your plan A shouldn't get compromised. So you need to be like really smart in choosing your plan B. So like I said, state services exam. So there are many overlap between the UPSC subject and the state provincial civil services. So you can go for that, but make sure that I again repeat that don't compromise on your plan A. When you are dreaming about something, it's your responsibility, and you should take it seriously, because UPSC needs a lot of dedication. One, 1-2 साल लग जाते हैं करने में. फिर अगर आपका क्लियर नहीं होगा, देन यू विल रिग्रेट कि इससे मैं प्लान बी नहीं रखता, प्लान ए पे ही फोकस करता तो वो हो जाता. So you need to be like really smart. Like it's a subjective thing. I did not have a plan B. I only focused on plan E. So that was my strategy. But yes, you can go for a plan B, but you will be responsible for whatever, for the consequences. So thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience, ma'am. The next question is by Dipesh. The question is for Nupur Goel, ma'am. Ma'am, you did your master's after BTech. Did it persuade you to go for civil services, or you already had it in your mind? Should I start giving my attempt and learn in the process, or should I prepare diligently first?
Yes, I did Masters in Public Administration, and I did it from IGNOU from the year 2017 to 19. As has already been asked by one of the fellow colleagues, that when you have electronics and communication engineering as a background, should you go for electrical? I was also dealing with the same question when I was there in their place. But I decided no as the answer, and then I had to choose some other optional. And I chose public administration to be my optional. In that scenario, when I started reading public administration, I developed a natural tendency towards it. And then I decided, why not go for a formal degree in the same? So it was actually the UPSC preparation which led me to do a formal degree in public administration. Regarding the question, I think it's your personal choice. If you think that doing a master's in any subject would help you in your preparation, you can go for the same. And if you think you can simultaneously do both of the things, you can also do the same thing as has been done by me. It's your individual decision, I would say, at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question is by Navdeep Dagur. The question is for Manshu Gupta, sir. How did you utilize the DTU resources for CSE? Please share your views about managing placement and CSE in fourth year. The question is for Manshu Gupta, sir. I guess he's not.
I'm sorry, I just
Should I
lost my
repeat the
connection.
question? Should I repeat the question, sir?
Yeah, yes, please, if you could repeat it.
Question. I'll go with the next question. The question is for Himanshu. Vishakha ma'am. Ma'am, you scored exceptionally well in GS4 paper. What was the strategy you used?
So I'll be very honest here. Firstly, I don't know why somebody gets exceptionally high marks in any subject, because more or less we all prepare in the same manner. But I can only tell what I did. So firstly, GS4 paper is very lengthy. So while we attempt that, we need to keep in mind that we need to finish the paper in time. That really makes a difference. Second thing is the sources I referred to. So I did not have much time to prepare for GS4 because I was very much engrossed in finishing my other syllabus. So I found I used, I think, Lukman IS handwritten notes of like the teacher who teaches in class. I got it from some local shop, and it was this big bundle of spiral binding photocopied class notes. So those are very good. So good things about those notes were that those notes had very precise content over every word which was written in the syllabus of GS4, along with the real life case examples, which is not there in every any other material. So, for example, if a question is about ethical corporate governance, so it was given like along with the definitions and live example, there were multiple case studies which are given. So when you approach a topic based on current affairs or based on some practical knowledge, it becomes easier to remember that. So for example, in CSR they gave multiple initiatives by Infosys, or for example any other companies on global level, some successful initiatives which materialized. So when you try to link your answers in GS4 with such examples, it makes it more realistic. So that is one thing which can be kept in mind, that while we try to read all the theoretical things about this, like I referred for theory, basically I referred this book Lexicon and D. Subbarao, as the Pankar mentioned, because that is the usual book list which people go for. So for all the theoretical definitions of the wordings like empathy, attitude, leadership qualities, and all these things, you can write them down by referring to any standard book. But while writing them down, you can probably link them with some real life examples. That could be your personal examples or something which is going on in current affairs, or some great initiative which has really impacted people. So I think that really makes a difference. And third thing is practice. Like you need to practice a lot. Case studies form a very important section in GS4, and those are very dynamic. Like you need to think on the spot. There is no specified dictum or strategy I can tell you that will fetch you marks. So the more you practice by giving test series, so the better you get at it. And when you approach case studies, try to give innovative solutions. Try to give something which is rooted in the ground reality rather than being over the top utopian, something which will be implementable when you go into the field and work. And last thing is, I think a substantial portion of GS4 is actually linked to governance part of GS2. So when you study your GS2 from newspapers, from articles, from some live commentaries or anything you're reading, try to jot down the points from the governance perspective, which you can use in your ethics paper also. For like anything which is related to public administration, there's dedicated section in GS4 which talks about like what are the attributes of a good governance and how it is done, and e-governance initiatives and all. So like the syllabus is not really in silos, it is very much interlinked, and it depends on how creatively we are able to link things and use one thing in context of other paper. For example, some things you have read in GS2 and prepared for can easily be written in GS4 provided the topic demands it. So the more creatively you are able to utilize these things and interlink different sections, it really helps. Like you can refer to my sample answer copies from Vision IS. I think more or less tried to experiment and do that, and I think that worked for me. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'll go back to Himanshu Gupta sir again. Sir, how did you utilize the
Yes.
DTU resources for CSE? Please share your views about managing placement and CSE in fourth year.
Uh, Sorry, I couldn't get your question.
I'll repeat,
Is it
sir.
GS3?
How did you utilize the DTU resources for CSE? And please
Okay.
share your views about managing placement and CSE in fourth year.
Okay. So I would say that there are many things, many resources available for this civil services exam, and in the market there is plethora of resources. So what one should do, that everyone says, like that you should have limited sources and multiple revision of the same sources. So I would say that for every particular theme or every particular topic, if you pick up just one resource and start revising them, that's a better strategy rather than going into all of the resource and checking each and every material that is available. So yes, there is a possibility that if you pick up another material, you will obviously gain something or the other new, but this is not practically feasible. Ideal strategy would be multiple sources and multiple revision, but that is obviously not practically feasible. So the best practical solution would be limit your resources, but revise them multiple times, so that it is you are able to internalize them, all of them together, and and in the end build a coherent answer for your questions in the mains or even in the interview. So I think that would be the best strategy to go for resources. Thanks.
For the second part, what are your views about managing placement and CSE in fourth year?
Okay, so in fourth year, I would, in my case, what happened was in the end of third year only, I got an internship in a company, and after the internship, I got a pre-placement offer directly. So I was anyway not eligible for sitting in any placements there. But what I can tell, that it is a personal decision of a person. If one is strictly viewing civil services examination as his or her career path, then one can even leave the placement. But because I have seen some friends who have completely left the placement process and dedicated their entire time for CSE preparation, there are people who are willing to try placements in some of the other company just to have a good backup option, and then later part of their career they can try for preparation for the CSE examination. So it's again a personal decision of a person. If one thinks that you are completely you want to completely dedicate yourself for this preparation, from this time onwards, from fourth year onwards, if you want to start your preparation, then go for it. There have been many examples of many people who have cracked the exam just after their college, right after their college. So it's a very good thing. But personally, for me, I think college life is way too important than this CSE preparation. So if I was there, I would enjoy my college life first. Uh, get a good placement, try to get a good placement. If even if not, okay, after I complete my college, okay, then I can think of uh, preparing for the exam and then doing something. In the meantime, what one can do is focus on your the secondary things, like you can build your reading habits, or you can take on some extracurricular activities, build good habits, music, dance, all other things that might help you in your overall preparation, because these secondary things are also very necessary to, let's say, to get some motivation, or to for stress management, time management, all those things, they are actually helpful. So I would say in fourth year, my personal opinion would be to dedicate yourself to the college and college life, and then maybe get back to this preparation phase. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your advice, sir. The next question is pretty general. Should one join some coaching classes while in the college? If yes, are weekend classes better or online? Dipankar, sir, you can answer this one.
As far as my opinion goes, I'm not a big fan of coaching classes, and whether it is weekend classes or your regular weekday classes. What I think is needed, what you can extract from coaching institutions is that uh, their monthly compilations are very good when you're preparing for your current affairs. I worked on Vision Affairs, current affairs, I actually recommend people to go for 2 years or 2.5 years of current affairs. Some people think it's way too much, but the way the UPSC exam has evolved in the past 2 or 3 years, they don't simply ask current affairs. What they ask is contemporary affairs. So it covers a period of, 2 years, in my opinion. So just to be on the safe side, 2.5 years. Other thing which you can extract from coaching institutions is their test series. I never joined any regular classroom classes for either for my GS papers or for my optional papers, but I did write test series. Test series, in my opinion, they help you set a benchmark. As you know, a benchmark as to when you compare with your peers or other people who are writing the same examination. That is especially true for optional, because in optional the pool is limited. So you would find that a lot of people, a lot of serious aspirants going for the same academy or the same instructor or the same teacher for their test series. So you actually know who your peers are, and then you can try and compete. So if you're doing well in your optional, in your test series, that is a very good indicator of how well you will do in your main examination. Not so much for general studies, but for optional this holds true, because the pool is small and the pool of serious candidates is also very small. That's the other thing you can extract from coaching institutions. The third thing you can extract from coaching institutions is that, now again, this is very subjective. I did give not a lot, about 4 mock interviews when I was preparing for my interview for the first time. For the second time, I didn't give not a single mock interview. And the second time I scored better in my interview compared to my first time. But the importance of giving mock interviews is that it helps you open up. Even doesn't matter what feedback they give, sometimes the feedback can be very demoralizing, and you would think that, where am I caught up, how am I ever going to clear this interview? But it sorts of opens up your it builds up your confidence. It helps you put your thought in a more concrete and structured manner in front of a interview panel. So these 3 things I think you can extract from a coaching institute. Whether you go for online or offline, online looks very taxing to me. I would anyway, UPSC preparation can become very monotonous. and lonely sometimes. So offline classes do give you an opportunity to go out, step out of the home, go to old Rajendra Nagar, Mukherjee Nagar, wherever you are preparing, meet some of your peers, have a nice cup of tea with them, talk to them. Online, it's taxing because staring at a screen for 3 hours or 4 hours, even in regular meetings, it becomes very difficult. So I would suggest, if you're going for something like that, go for an offline session. So these are the 3 things I would say: write the test series, go and meet people there, and go for an optional test series as well, or mock interviews. These things you can extract from a coaching institute. Other than that, I don't know if regular coaching classes or regular optional classes are a big add-on to your preparation. You would rather be better off spending more time in self-preparation than depending on those sources.
Thank you so much for your practical advice, sir. The next question is for Nupur Goyal, ma'am. Ma'am, are you there with us?
Yes, I'm there.
Why you choose PSIR and PA? Science is a good optional for BTech, and why did you choose them?
Public administration optional क्यों choose किया?
Can you please repeat the question?
Yes, ma'am. Why you chose PSIR and PA? Science is good optional for BTech, then why did you choose it?
Science की जगह PA क्यों लिया? PSI mix कर दिया मेरा.
Okay, actually, it's public administration, and PA is usually referred to as public administration, and you have, I think, mistakenly said it to be PSIR, which is another optional, which Vishakha would be better able to handle the same. Why I took it was, I think so when going in for any kind of optional, you just go through the syllabus, it's previous year question papers, and find out whether you are comfortable with it. See, optional is actually like 500 marks out of 1750 in the mains examination, which is a huge chunk. And it also plays a part in the interview process as well. So choosing any optional is one of the major foundations for civil services examination. Why I went for public administration was, when I went through the syllabus, I found out that I had a natural inclination towards those topics which were there in public administration as such. The other reason was it being very dynamic in nature. It is a very dynamic subject to start with, and it had great overlap with a number of GS papers, GS2, GS3, GS4, all of them I think had 1 or 2 overlaps with public administration, which I think at that point of time would have given me an edge over other candidates. So that was my reason for going for public administration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question is for Himanshu, sir. Sir, as an IFS officer, how do you intend to use your engineering knowledge in the field of diplomacy?
So this looks like a UPSC interview question only, and we have been preparing for this question, like how will you use your engineering knowledge in your field work. So I would also give my the same answer that I had prepared then as well. The thing is, see, engineering can help you in 2 main ways. One is that it builds your analytical skills, right? So science background person definitely has some or the other different kind of thinking than another person from a humanities background or a commerce background. So that helps in analyzing things better and in understanding the nuances of things better. The other thing is, let's say, okay, I have had some or the other knowledge about the technical aspects. Let's say I have worked in a electrical and electronics and communication company as well. So it might be possible that I might be able to understand things related to those subjects better. So those are the things that would help you. But anyway, this UPSC exam does not discriminate between any person who has some or the other background. Everybody is seen as equal there. Only thing is, it might give you some edge over others in some or the other aspects. The other person would also get some other edge in another aspect. So that's a completely different thing here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your answer, sir. The next question is for Sarjana ma'am. Why should we prepare for civil services despite being engineers and not engineering services? Both are administrators in some way.
So thank you for the question. I have previously given engineering services examination also. And my father is also from Indian Engineering Service. So from my experience, I gave it, I think when I graduated in the year, I gave it in 2015 only, I think. So when I gave the exam, so it went well. But then I realized कि इसमें भी इतनी मेहनत करनी है और you civil services में भी इतनी करनी है. But civil services, the diversity which civil services will provide you, no other profession in this world can provide you that. So you know, and बहुत डिफरेंस होता है. तो इंजीनियरिंग सर्विस में अगर आपका टेक्निकल, इफ यू आर गुड एट योर टेक्निकल or you want your profession to be in the core sector, then go for it. It's just a professional choice. Like I cannot, like after I gave the engineering services exam, I made my mind clear that no, I won't go for it because I don't want to do a technical job all my life. Then when I started working in TRAI as a research officer, there I worked with many bureaucrats, many civil servants from the administrative services, revenue services, and the kind of work they used to do, and they used to be part of the decision making processes. So you know, that motivated me, that you know, that actually kicked, you know, एक kick चाहिए होता है आपको to, you know, to for your goal, for your dream. So that kick happened in TRAI. So I wanted, if you can contribute more to the society with your talent, with your knowledge, I think nothing can be better than that. So again, it's a like, see, civil services, being an engineer, being a doctor, being a lawyer, it's just, you know, it's just your choice. जहाँ पे आपका natural inclination रहता है, आप प्लीज उस पे फोकस करिए. आई कैनॉट से कि इंजीनियरिंग सर्विस क्यों नहीं करना चाहिए, सिविल सर्विसेज करना चाहिए. इट वॉज माई चॉइस नॉट टू गो फॉर इंजीनियरिंग सर्विसेज एंड गो फॉर सिविल सर्विसेज बिकॉज आई डिड नॉट वॉन्ट माई प्रोफेशन टू बी you know, in a core sector, in a technical sector all my life. I needed diversity, so I chose civil services. So it's very subjective. आपको जो अच्छा लगता है, आपका जहाँ पे इंक्लिनेशन है, आप प्लीज वो करिए. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question is for Nupur, ma'am. How to deal with family and friends' expectations? Ma'am, you're mute.
I'm sorry. Thank you for the question. It's actually a very good question. How to deal with the expectations of family and friends. See, if the expectations are making you give your 200% and you are actually working towards the same, I think you are dealing it in a very correct manner. And if you are getting perturbed by it, if you are thinking that, oh, ये रिलेटिव मुझे क्या कहेंगे, मेरे फ्रेंड को की प्लेसमेंट हो गई है, मेरी नहीं हुई है, या आफ्टर 3 to 4 years in the preparation one starts thinking कि यार मेरा वो फ्रेंड यूएस से जा रहा है, या मेरा वो फ्रेंड यहाँ वेकेशन कर रहा है, मैं यहीं पर हूँ, मैं एक ही जगह पर स्ट्रक हूँ. I think it's all about perspective. So it's just a matter of few days or a few years, I would say. If you get success in the examination, you will be placed much above your friends, and those friends, those relatives, and your family would be so proud of you. I think that was the thing which kept me moving, and which should keep all of you moving as well. So I think, yeah, it just focus on the constructive side of it. Just focus कि अगर आप सक्सेसफुल हो जाते हो तो वो लोग कितने खुश होंगे, कितना अच्छे से आपको सपोर्ट करेंगे एंड ऑल, रादर देन थिंकिंग कि अच्छा उन्हें पता चल गया कि मैं पेपर दे रही हूँ, या वो उनका निकल गया है, मेरा नहीं निकला है. ये सब बेफालतू की बातों में प्लीज अपना टाइम नहीं बर्बाद कीजिए.
Thank you for your motivating words, ma'am. Next question is for Shubham Bansal, sir. Do you believe DTU helped you in some way during your CSE journey? If yes, where?
Thank you, Mehika. I think everything has a role to play. The places where I have been, the people I have met, my good friends who supported me a lot in my journey, and who knows, I mean, the different things that happened during college. I published a lot of research papers in the during my college time. I also headed the tech fest here. So a lot of things happened. I can't really pinpoint to something specific, but I think it's a part of the process.
Thank you so much, sir. The next question is for Vishakha ma'am. A third year CSCE student asked this question. Should one first secure placement and then go for CSC preparation? When did you started your preparation? In college or during job?
I don't think I can comment on when should one start the preparation. It's very, very subjective. But for me, I always had in mind that I'll go for this exam only. But I was very clear until the fourth year that I want to sit in the placements and secure a job, gain some professional experience and some financial independence too, so that, it gives me a sense of safety towards the future, because given the unpredictability of this exam, it's always better to have a plan B. So I resorted to this approach. I started my preparation in 2017 itself, and that was, of course, while I was working only. And yeah, so I started at that time. But since the person who asked the question is third CSE, so my advice would be, if you have made up your mind that you want to give this exam, please first of all chart out a plan that how do you want to do it. Like, you have to read the NCRTs, then cover the syllabus, then practice answer writing. So you need to give some dedicated time to that. So if you're able to manage that, do that and start preparing dedicatedly. But if you think even for a fraction of second that maybe you need more time, and maybe you can sit for placement, then try to balance out both things. Sit for your placement, secure a job. You can also prepare while working. I think there are many topper strategies where people share their experiences that they have prepared while working also. And you can choose a job which is not very demanding and not very taxing, and which gives you the space to prepare at the end of the day. So it is totally up to you, that it's totally your decision that whether you want to leave your placements and give dedicated time to this preparation only, which is not a bad option, or do you want to play safe and keep a better plan B and then go for it, because it is an unpredictable exam. So yes, that is the ground reality. The success rate is like what, 0.02%. So yeah, take a call, analyze and assess your situation, where you stand, where your preparation stands, and it depends on the subjective potential also. Some people take less time to grasp things, some people take more time. So maybe you need to think and introspect, plan, and then take a call. And obviously you can take the help of your family and friends while taking the decision. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind guidance. The next question is for Dipankar, sir. Sir, during the session, we heard a lot of to-do, but what are some things that we should avoid?
Some things that you should avoid. You should first of all avoid consulting a lot of people and focus on your own strengths and weaknesses. That's how I tell. Because the more people you can consult about this examination, the more distracted or the more confused you will get. The second important thing not to do is that don't prepare for this examination in patches. A lot of us, what they do is that we are consistent, but we are consistent in patches. So we study hard for 2 months, then take a break for another 2 months, then we study hard again for 2 months, and then again take a break. This is not how this examination works. You have to move at a constant pace throughout the preparation phase, throughout your entire preparation phase. The third most important thing I would say is that you should take your physical and your mental health very, very seriously during the entire preparation phase, because like I've said earlier, this can get very monotonous and very taxing. So exercise regularly, keep a hobby, as Himanshu was saying, spend some time on that hobby. hang out with your friends. You don't have to spend hours hanging out with them. Maybe once in a weekend, maybe twice in a weekend, you can hang out with them. And the last thing I would say is that, see, every success story is a unique story. You cannot simply copy exactly what I did and get to where I am, or that holds for everyone else. So you have to know what works for you. You are a unique individual. All of you know that. So you have to charter your own unique courses. Don't just blindly follow into that idea that I will follow the exact same books this topper has read. I will refer to the same study materials this topper has read. I would go to the same mentors or same coaching institute that this topper suggested, and that will work for me in the exactly same manner that it worked for the topper. So you have to ensure that you find out your own unique ways and your own unique path when preparing for this exam. That is the overall of it. But like I said, the most important thing is persistence and consistency. This exam will test your physical strength because the whole cycle is around about 8 or 9 months. It will test your mental strength. It will test your emotional strength. It tests you in such a comprehensive manner that you have to be a complete individual to clear this examination.
Thank you so much, sir. The next question is for Himanshu, sir. Is there anything that you'd change in your college life, sir, if you could?
Well, I don't think so. I have like every experience has been a learnable experience, and uh, uh, I don't believe in alternate history. If you could change something, because uh, nobody knows that. Uh, there's a share also, Mirza Ghalib share, which says that "यूं होता तो क्या होता," right? So I can't really say that okay, if I could change this, maybe that would have happened. Maybe some butterfly effect would have changed another experience of mine. So I wouldn't say that I would like to change something of my past.
Thank you so much, sir. How our responses should be when we are unaware of some of the questions posed to us during the interview. This question is for Vishakha ma'am.
How to say no to the questions.
Can you please repeat the question
Yes,
once?
ma'am,
Sorry.
yes, sure. How our responses should be when we are unaware of some of the questions posed to us during the interview.
Let me tell you this, that no matter how much we try to prepare for an interview, it is always going to be very much surprising and uncertain. But like there are few questions, like maybe 50 to 60% of interview you can predict are on predictive lines. But then there are a lot of uncertain questions also, something which hits you out of the blue. So for that, I don't know the exact answer or what you should be saying, but what you can keep in mind is, firstly, always try to be honest, because interview is not about what you're saying or what content you're delivering. It's more about the kind of personality you have. So make sure the kind of impression you're creating on the interview panel is very much honest. And secondly, if you don't know the answer to something, for example, if they ask you some factual question that what is the name of this cultural dance in this district, so you don't even have to pretend that and take wild guesses that you know this thing or that thing. You can simply say no, because it's okay to say no. You're not going to lose any marks by saying no to one, two, three, four questions. It doesn't make a difference. It only gives them the window to move forward to the next question, and it doesn't affect your marking scheme.
Actually, it improves your marks if
Yes.
you say no in a very dignified manner to them.
You can simply say, sorry, sir, I don't know the answer to this question as of now. I'll try to learn about it. So it also shows that, you're being very honest. And secondly, it also shows that you're not trying to dodge and kill their time by, saying something and going haywire. And thirdly, if you know something a little bit about that question, you can take their lead. You can tell them that this is what I know of. So I think it's a good approach to go about the interview. But you have to keep in mind that your agenda is not to show that you have knowledge or show your knowledge. Your knowledge is already tested in your mains exam. Your what you should be keeping in mind is that your personality should come out as a clean, honest person, like somebody who deserves to be an officer, somebody who can lead people, take care of a district, and take care of administration. So, something like that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for your encouraging words, ma'am. The next question is for Sarjana, ma'am. How did you reward yourself after completing small targets?
Okay, that's a very relevant question. So I used to reward myself with a pizza, or I used to go out shopping, yeah, or I used to go out with my friends. So actually, it's very important to take small breaks, because see, it's a very long journey, as Dipankar also said. 8 9 if you're giving a first attempt, it takes 8 and 9 months. So you cannot be studying for 8 to 9 hours all those 8 and 9 months. You need to have small breaks to revive yourself, rejuvenate yourself, because otherwise it will take a toll on your mental health. So yeah, reward yourself, whatever you like to do, any hobby you want to pursue. Like I used to take breaks every 15 days, I think. And on that day, I only used to read my newspaper, or either I used to order a pizza and watch my movie on Netflix, or go out with my friends or with my family. Anything which relaxes you, I think you should be doing that. And but daily also, like your daily schedule should be such that there should be there should be time for yourself. There should be a me time every day, because after studying for all those 6 7 hours, whatever is your schedule, you need to calm yourself and go to sleep. Because if you won't do that, you next day you will get up all stressed. So every day it's very important to take हर दिन भी आप कुछ करिए. मतलब if you're active on social media, take out at least 1 hour for your social media or for your hobby. If you're into some hobby, dancing or painting or anything, so please keep pursuing that, because that will that will take care of your mental health. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. The next question is for Shubham Bansal, sir. Does college society's extracurricular activities and POR help in the interview?
I had written a lot of these PORs and activities in my DAF and also in my RBI interview. A question was never asked on it. So I can't really comment if it helps. If it's there, it's okay. Many people have certainly asked me if it's not there, then does it hurt them? I don't think so. If it's not there, it's not there. You must have done something else in that time. The board can discuss it with you. Don't worry about too much about what's not there. That's all I can say on this. But if you have written it, prepare it really well.
Thank you so much, sir. The next question is for Nupur Goyal, ma'am. As only few months are left for UPSC 2021, what should be strategy for remaining days for first attempters?
The prelims is just approaching, and I think uh, for the people who are attempting it for the very first time should focus on revision. Should focus on revision more. Apart from revision, they also should practice a lot of mock test papers, which are there freely available online as well as in the offline material as such. Secondly, we also have Himanshu Jain here. He will tell you about the preparation.
Hi guys. शक्ल ही नहीं दिख रही है, थोड़ा ऊपर करो. Hi everyone.
I'm very sorry for the interruption, but he secured rank 4 this year, and I think he might be a better person to guide you regarding the prelims preparation.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. We are glad to have him with us.
Although he doesn't belong to our fraternity, but yeah, according to him, he did it from Delhi University.
Welcome, sir. We're glad to have you here.
Hi Mihika.
Hello,
How?
ma'am. I'm fine.
So what should I tell?
So the the question ma'am was answering was, as only few months are left for UPSC 2021, what should be the strategy for remaining days for first attempters?
So basically, for first attempters, I would say that be confident and have faith in yourself, and do and go and attempt all the questions which you think you are you can, because in my first attempt I attempted only 67 questions, and it was obvious that it won't happen at 67 question unless you have very high accuracy. So at least 85 to 80 80 to 85 questions are minimum that you must attempt with a fair accuracy.
How much did you score this year?
And one fact I'll also tell, that prelims is a game of luck. So this year's cutoff was does anybody of you know what was the cutoff this year of prelims GS1? So this year's cutoff was 98, and बता तो दूं. So don't have to worry about how much marks you get in prelims, because it doesn't matter. I got 98.00. So you'll pass based on your faith, your confidence in yourself. Okay.
And yes, the lesson to be learned here is prelims is just a qualifying examination, and it's actually the mains and the interview stage that counts the most. So rather than focusing on prelims, we should rather focus on mains, because mains is actually 1750 marks out of the 2025 marks that are to be evaluated in the CSE preparation. And as Himanshu sir already said, that be confident and practice as much as you can. There are a lot of mock test papers available. Do go through them. Just solving the papers wouldn't solve any purpose. I think after solving the same, go through the answer sheets that are available, the solutions that are there, and analyze why was the question not marked correctly by you, or what were the things that you didn't know about. So analyzing the paper and then improving upon it is actually the key here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nupur ma'am and Himanshu sir. Thank you for being our guest. I thank all the panelists for answering the questions so patiently. I now invite the Society of Civil and Environmental Engineering President Abhishek sir to present the vote of thanks. Sir, you're mute. You can mute yourself. No.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yeah. Sorry for the interruption. So, good evening, everyone. Like all good things, this event should also end, and I'm honored to be able to give a vote of thanks on behalf of Society for Civil and Environmental Engineers and DTU-DCE Fraternity Forum. Today's event is the perfect epitome of how the strength of alumni can help the current students, which further validates the idea of having a fraternity forum by Dr. Navneet. Credits to the team of Ski and D2DC Fraternity Forum for working tirelessly for conducting the event with sheer hard work and determination. And also on behalf of the entire institute, I would like to thank the panelists. This program would have been incomplete without your presence and inspiring words. All of you are someone who we look up to and who we are proud of the fact that we are associated with the same institute as of yours. Additionally, your constructive analysis has definitely helped a lot of all of us who are planning to prepare for the civil services exam. Special thank you to Navneet sir for bringing all the distinguished panelists here. It takes a ton of efforts to get us several people together on a single stage. Also, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the participants present today. And with this note, I'd like to conclude the webinar and bid a goodbye and a good night to all of you.